All right, John, and everybody out there, I'm going to start a series called Demystifying MDMP. So for whatever reason, doing MDMP, that a military decision-making process, seems to bewitch people. It is so hard for folks. We struggle with it all the time. People go to schools. How many schools we go to teach MDMP? And the interesting thing is, I've been a part of MDMP, and I've done MDMP and read about it. And I always feel like it's the first time. I don't know why that is. Okay, so I'm going to help folks demystify it. So the first thing I want to help demystify is this thing called Priority Intelligence Requirements, FFIR, Friendly Forces Information Requirements, and EEFI's Essential Elements of Friendly Information. So Priority Intelligence Requirements, FFIR, Friendly Forces Information Requirements, and Essential Elements of Friendly Information. I'm sure you heard those acronyms before.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here we go. This is how it works. Okay, in this whole world, all right, so I'm going to do an operation. And I'd say I'm going to attack the enemy on Objective Longstreet. So in this world, there's information about the enemy that I want to know, right? I'm required to know it. Hey, what time do we go? Where's the enemy at? How many bullets we have? I mean, we could list them out.
Sure.
All right, so we call those IR, information requirements. I need to know this. Now, there's some information that is about the enemy and the terrain, and we'll call it, and maybe the weather. So now, there's information about the enemy and the terrain. It's not information anymore, it's intelligence. Now here's the difference between information and intelligence. We screw this up all the time. So anytime you have information that you're trying to protect, conceal, and not let your opponent know it, that is intelligence. Anything else is just information. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I'm going to sell my home. So I live in this house, I want to sell it. All right, so the square footage of my home, intelligence or information?
Information?
Information, you can find it anywhere. Go on Zillow, real estate, realtor.org, okay? It'll tell you, hey, it's a 4,000 square foot home. All right, number of bathrooms in my home.
Information.
Information. Let's say is the warranty expiration on my hot water heater. Probably information, you probably figure it out.
Sure.
But let's say in my home that one of my windows have been falling out, and I'm afraid that the weather's got in there, and during the home inspection, I'm kind of hoping the home inspector doesn't find it because I know it's going to be really expensive to fix that wall. So, as a home inspector, I'm probably talking to him as he goes in that room and keep him away from doing that. Intelligence or information?
Intelligence?
Intelligence.
Sure.
Because I'm trying to protect it. I'm trying to conceal it. Because there's an advantage, I don't want you to know that. So unless the enemy is trying to protect it, that's not intelligence. That's just flat out information. So that's an important thing to know, the difference between intelligence and information. Intelligence, the enemy will always be doing counterintelligence operations on it. They're trying to keep you from knowing it. It will always come around these things: what they intend to do and their location. So I know a lot of people, when they do PIRs, are like, composition, disposition, blah, blah, we should, they come all this stuff. It's always going to be around this. Now, there is some information that's so important, it's the top of my priority. Like, what's the enemy planning to do? Pretty powerful, right?
Yes, sir.
Or where are they actually at? So let's make it a priority. I'm going to priority. Now, as I said before, because the enemy's are they going to protect their intention? Yeah, they're going to guard their plan. Are they going to try to conceal their location? Yes.
Absolutely.
So it's intelligence. Now, as a commander, is it a requirement for me to know that? Because I'm going to place a lot of my plan on this. So it's a requirement. Or a PIR. And because I'm required to know that, it's going to lead to a decision. If I know what the enemy intends to do, I can make a decision. If I know their locations,
Right.
They say if you want to win an attack, you need to identify 70%, in a deliberate attack, 70% of the enemy locations. If I knew 70% of where the enemy was at, I can make a decision to launch my attack. So it has to be tied to a decision, all right? Now, there's other information that I need to know about myself I'm required to know. And it's about myself, so it's friendly. Now, is it intelligence?
No, sir.
Well, not to me, because it's my own information. So it's about my friendly forces. It's an information requirement. I'm required to know it. For example, and it has to be tied to a decision, or an FFIR, and this is tied to a decision. I'm going to launch an air assault. What if my helicopters are broken? I would need to know that. Or what if my radars aren't working? So this is information I need to know about myself. So you have a priority intelligence requirement about the enemy of the terrain, and then you have friendly forces information requirement about myself. But it all hinges on me making a decision. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Now, there's some information that is so critical. In fact, let's call, ever seen a patient in critical condition? You ever seen that?
In real life? No, sir.
In a movie?
In movies.
So
all the
when you
time.
have a patient in critical condition, do you stuff them in a closet?
No, sir.
Where are they usually at?
Out in the open, being operated on.
Yeah, and there's little sensors on them. So let's say there's information requirement that's so critical. Let's call it critical, for example. It's critical. It involves the commander. Because I'm the one that makes a decision. And because it involves all this, let's call it information requirement. Or in other words, is a CCIR. You ever heard of CCIR?
All the time, sir.
Okay, so what this is a game changer. So we have a plan. Our plan is to attack an enemy on objective Longstreet. My priority intelligence requirement, where's the enemy intends to do? So I put out an NAI. It's a place I'm interested in. So I'm going to give it a name, NAI. And I'm going to send somebody to go look at it, a reconnaissance guidance, so they can see what's the enemy intending to do, where you can get the answer at. Once you get that answer, let me know, because I'm going to make a decision on it. All right? And then I'm going to also at the same time know, hey, do I have my forces in the right position? Do I have my artillery be able to provide fire support? Is my log packs ready to go to provide resupply once I start this attack? And then when both say, yep, you're good to go, yep, we know the enemy, we launch our decision. So, and the combination of this is going to be a tool that you've heard of called a decision support template, which is a picture, and a decision support matrix. These two things are going to help me know and run, and think of the Apollo 13 example. Remember when Ed Harris are going to launch the space shuttle?
Yes, sir.
And so there's Houston, the space shuttle's starting to, bubble up, and the one guy goes, all right, are we ready to go? Weather dude, weather's good. Hey, brake dude, yeah, brakes are off. Fuel dude, fuel, go, 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 go. And then Ed Harris goes, hey, launch the space shuttle. That's what this thing does. But what happens is they went to the moon, something happened. Right? They had an accident, and all of a sudden the plan changed. They were no longer going to the moon. They were going to survive. That was a critical commander information requirement, because now the plan's different. They had to punt the plan. And this is the world of branch plans and sequels. So what I'm showing you is this whole thing is meant to be kind of a system. What I see typically happens is people do a planning, they think, PIRs got to throw some stuff up there, FFIRs, I'll throw some stuff up there, CCIRs, I don't know, soldier gets wounded or something. It goes slapped up on a board back there, no one looks at it or uses it. And that's why MDMP is useless, because you understand the whole purpose of the military decision-making process is help commanders make a good decision. Frankly, look, I don't need anybody to help me make a bad decision. I've made plenty of bad decisions in my life. I don't need a staff to do it. What you have a staff for is to help you make a good decision. And this construct of priority intelligence requirements, friendly forces information requirements, and how they work together, that's how it does. And the crown jewel of the military decision-making process is to give a commander a decision support matrix and template, decision support, to help him make a good decision. So more to follow, and more to follow on demystifying MDMP. But that's a big thing I see folks get wrong all the time. Anything you want to add?
This is great, sir. MDMP is something I lack reps on. I will admit it. As a captain, I was in an intel brigade. We did not do a lot of MDMP. So I appreciate you breaking this down for it. It makes a lot of sense. I learned some stuff today, sir. So
All
I
right,
appreciate
good.
it.
All right, fight outnumbered to win.